Hello, Alteryx community. Thank you for joining us for another segment of Alteryx Innovators in Industry. I am Heather Harris. I am an Alteryx ace. And with me today is Ashley Vincent, one of our Alteryx Innovators. Ashley, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Great. Yes. So I'm Ashley Vincent. I'm based in Kansas City, Missouri. And so I'm a senior data analyst for Glenn Devens. And I've been using Alteryx for about 4.5 years now.
And can you tell us a little bit more about your role with Glenn Devens?
Yeah, so I was actually brought on to help with a lot of the automation. So Alteryx is pretty new to Glenn Devens. They actually acquired it about around the time that I started. So my role is really getting that up and running, building out a lot of the automations that we're working on, and kind of growing Alteryx as a practice in tandem with Tableau as well. So we kind of have both working together, and we're looking to grow that as much as we can. So
That's an exciting time to be kind of on the ground floor of that growth. Can you tell us, for people who don't know, tell us a little bit more about Glenn Devens?
Glenn Devens is a marketing firm in Kansas City that's focused on senior living. So worked with a lot of different communities around the country, basically helping them with their marketing, a lot of direct mail, since you're working with a more senior population, and that's kind of my focus within it, but it's really focused on that senior living space and really all aspects of marketing within it.
Well, and as our population ages, I imagine that that space is just growing. Tell me a little bit more about the kind of work you do with Alteryx. Like, can you tell us a little bit about some of your specific use cases?
Sure. So like I said, a big focus of mine is in the direct mail space. So prior to me joining, the direct mail efforts were kind of outsourced to our third-party vendor. There was a lot of manual process to get it moving along. So we've actually been working to build out apps that will host on our Alteryx server to actually automate some of that segmentation that we're doing for it. So being able to enter the different criteria that we want for each community, generating those segments, generating those lists, storing them places, pulling them if needed, just all of that kind of process of segmentation that goes into it.
Yeah.
So taking advantage of the CAS tools, we're able to standardize addresses instead of having to pay someone else to do that, or using some of those interface tools to make it really cool and interactive in ways that our client services can now kind of own it, instead of an analyst having to go in and write queries or that kind of thing. So it's been really neat, really automation focused at this point, but we're hoping once we lay that groundwork, we can start to get more advanced analytics.
And who are your users of your apps then?
So right now it's actually primarily my direct mail counterpart. So the director of that space is kind of going in and owning that at this point. I think as we get people more familiar with those kinds of tools, we're hoping to get more and more people on the client services side. There's also analysts that are going and using some of them as well, working with third-party data. So we kind of have a wide variety, and we're hoping that we get to grow it out more and actually have more people in it as they get accustomed to kind of the new fancy technology that we have.
Well, it sounds like you'll bring a lot to the party there, if you will. And I know that you've had a pretty impressive Alteryx journey. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your Alteryx journey and maybe a really special event that led to last year?
Yes. Yeah, so like I said, I've been using Alteryx for 4.5 years. Switched over from SPSS Modeler. We were at a Tableau conference and kind of found out about it, and I became obviously a big fan. It's one of my requirements for wherever I go. We have to use Alteryx kind of thing. So yeah, I've been growing in that space, doing a lot of different things in it and trying to kind of explore it. So last year I decided, wouldn't it be fun to kind of see what it looks like to go through the Grand Prix interview, if you will. I mean, really, it's kind of a test that you do, but I thought it'd be a fun way to kind of get exposure to different things that people do, and just be an interesting thing. So I was very surprised when I was actually selected for it. I got so nervous. I did not know if I was ready for it, but thought it was a really cool opportunity. It was terrifying, I will say, but it was also a lot of fun. I highly recommend anyone to at least try it out and see how you do, see how many points you can get. It's kind of neat, but if you do get chosen, I know it's scary, but it was a lot of fun and a really cool way to meet people. And even if you don't win, because I definitely didn't, it was still awesome. And I might try again someday. So we'll
Oh,
see.
you totally should. And you know, just getting selected and being up there on the stage at, well, it was Inspire, now it's going to be Analyticon, is such an honor and such a testament to your skills in Alteryx for sure. And now you are one of the newest Alteryx innovators. Well, the whole program is relatively new. So tell us a little bit more about why should somebody become an Alteryx innovator?
So I think one of the things that has always impressed me about Alteryx, besides the software, obviously, has been the community. In terms of support, all of that, it's been great, but also the people that are generally involved are really, really cool data people. And I kind of viewed the Innovator program as a good way to get involved more. So being able to interact with new people, meet new people, but also have the opportunity to do something like this, where you kind of put yourself out there and get to tell people your story. So I think it's a really awesome chance to get more involved. And hopefully if we ever get to go to Analyticon again, kind of have that network already out there and ready to go. So looking
Can
forward.
meet IRL as it will.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking the time to do this. I mean, exactly, you know what Ashley said, like, this is a chance to get to meet people, and we're out on the community here with this segment. Please leave us a comment in the thread. Feel free to ask Ashley or myself questions, and feel free, let us know, how are you using Alteryx in your marketing endeavors as well? So thanks for joining us, and keep watching for the other segments. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you, Heather.